So what does an importer do when they arrive in a brand new region and really they only have 7 days? So I was really lucky that there's a government agency in Austria that promotes the wine that was able to help me arrange a really comprehensive tour through Austria. So 7 days, 15 wineries. We're trying 10 to 15 wines per winery. So we're logging in probably over 150 wines in this very short period of time. So how are we supposed to come here and evaluate and make a decision? So the first thing that we have to think about as an importer is when you try whatever wine is in your home country in the United States from a certain country, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt because that's only the wine that made it to the United States. So Austria is most known for Gruner Veltliner in the United States. It's a very popular grape here, and that's what most Americans have had interaction with. So the first thing, I have to kind of put aside what I know about Gruner Veltliner and come with a kind of a new spirit or a fresh set of eyes, and come with the attitude of really learning about this region. So we started up in the Triesental, which is an hour west of Vienna, and there was a lot of Gruner Veltliner. So I have to sit and I have to with an open mind try the wines, log which ones I'm enjoying, figure out the price points of them, and then be able to take samples back and retry all of them kind of in different sets so I can really evaluate maybe 5 to 8 Gruner Veltliners in the same price tier so I can start evaluating which wines are the absolute best value. So up in the north in that area, there was also some red, Zweigelt, Blaufränkisch, and it's a cooler region, so a lot less fruit, higher acidity, and maybe a style wine that I'm not sure if people in the United States are really familiar with or will enjoy. So I have to try these, but rather than judge them as good or bad, be keeping an open mind so I can understand the region without prejudging too much. So we then headed down into more the Burgenland, Carnuntum region, which is pretty much dipping south into the Pannonian climate, which is warmer. So we're getting more fruit and a little bit less acidity levels in those wines. So it was interesting to see the wines kind of turn into something that is maybe a little bit more familiar to the American palate. But still, I have to really figure out and just have an open mind, so when I taste something that's just delicious, it really pops out at me. Now we've come down into the south, into the Styria region that is most famous for the white wine, Sauvignon Blancs, but also has some red wine here. So here I am. I've tried a ton of wines. I've tried several that I like, and I'm also experiencing different styles. So the white wines here have a little bit of that fizz. If you're familiar with Vinho Verde in Portugal, it's a little bit similar. They don't let, they bottle the wine younger, so they keep the carbon dioxide that's a result of the fermentation within the wine. So you get a little bit of that fizz, even though it's not a champagne style wine. So I have to think to myself, are Americans really excited about a white wine with a little bit more fizz than they're used to from the 100% flat Sauvignon Blancs or Chardonnay that they're used to in the United States? I think the answer is yes, people are excited about that, but I'm not sure how much. Then the next thing is thinking about, do people want to try a Zweigelt or Blaufränkisch that is very different than the flavors they're used to, but representative of the region? And I think that if there's a region that has a wine that is very different, that could be interesting, but it still has to be delicious. We still have to really enjoy drinking that wine. So we have to think about those and try to find, is there one example of this grape that just easily rises to the top in terms of deliciousness and not just giving us an experience of the region? So you can see it's a lot of subjective things that I have to think through when I'm in a region, because my job is to find wines that are going to give people a really excellent experience and not just be a token of a travel journey. So I'm learning, and there have been a few wines that have surprised me. I've found some red wines that have blown me away in a white wine region. That's interesting. I found some white wines done in a different style than typical Austrian wines that have blown me away. so they're really good, but they're not exactly representative of the area. So I'm still going through this. I'm still logging all the different flavors, what I like, what the prices are, and trying to find that magic combination of things I can come back to the United States. So as always, I can't just take the tasting from the vineyard. So our favorite wines we've taken back, and we'll try them again as well. We'll get more wines sent to the United States to make sure that they taste just as good in my living room in the United States than a beautiful terrace at the vineyard in Austria. So that's sort of, I guess, a peek into the muddled mind of an importer in a new region. And I don't know if I have anything more to say right now. So stay tuned, and maybe I will have another thought for you later.